Sometimes, the nature of the universe can place you under certain circumstances for you to become a hero. Sometimes, the universe places you under certain circumstances that forces you to become a villain. Other times, the universe puts you in a circumstantial scenario where you're a part of an abusive matriarchal ruling, where your mom rules with an iron fist, but the benefit of her rulership doesn't trickle down to her kids as much as the responsibilities to uphold her matriarchal society does. All of those circumstances are out of our control, but ultimately, the choice is ours to determine who we want to become given our choices. Katakuri is a character who you would think wouldn't accept any of those circumstantial situations as its own destiny. That type of submissive behavior just doesn't fit his no-nonsense approach that was portrayed along with his non-agreeable personality, which was amplified by him being a King's Haki user. All users of the King's Haki should all as a collective champion the idea of freedom as a core value, regardless of each of their own personal interpretation of that concept. Katakuri has been regularly accused to not be deserving of the King's Haki due to him staying under his mom's rulership instead of choosing to explore on its own like most of the other King's Haki users. This might be a minority opinion, but I believe that Katakuri is one of the most deserving users of the King's Haki. He is the quintessential manifestation of what a character who truly values freedom is like. Because freedom without responsibility is just pure selfishness. Katakuri chose a position that was honorable and sacrificial. He put away his true interests to take up the interests of others, and he held his true personality captive so he could assume a tiresome job of being a perfect big brother and act as a symbol of strength for his siblings who are much weaker than him. You can choose to be the creator of your own destiny, seeking solutions, taking actions, and trying something new when prompted with any stimulus from your environment. Or you can choose to be the victim of your world, blaming, complaining, and finding excuses for your choices when prompted with a stimulus from your environment. The former helps you achieve your goals and accept responsibility, while the latter helps you to achieve neither. If you guys have been following me on my short YouTube journey, then you should be aware of how heavily I champion the notion that a character's emotional state is a valuable area of accessibility if you want to fully understand their character and how they help or ruin the narrative. Let me put Katakuri's character under the microscope by analyzing his emotional states that ultimately brought life to his unique powers and abilities. Katakuri doesn't value the need for power like most individuals do on a selfish basis. His need for power isn't as a result of some personal vendetta, but it derives from his desperate need to protect those that are precious to him. Katakuri's mindset is similar to that of Zoro, where Zoro's barbaric nature is as a result of his desire to protect what's dear to him, whether that's a person or something intangible like a dream or a promise. Katakuri is multidimensional in his traits. But unlike someone like Sanji, where his multitude of traits creates a knotty web of inconsistencies in portrayal, Katakuri's multiple traits all help to further his goal as a protector and a defender. His style of dressing is noticeable, different from the comedic theme of attire presented in his environment. He sported a vest that has the name Charlotte on it as a brand of his conviction and loyalty. That brand was very symbolic as it indicates that he is loyal to the interests of his family, and when he took off the vest versus Luffy, it symbolizes that he has discarded the hefty responsibility and gained an individualistic mindset to do what he pleases. All of those actions happen on the base of him accepting the responsibility and doing what he wants. It is important that we view Katakuri outside of a combative realm to fully grasp the mindset of the man known as the Rock of the Big Mom Pirates. He's an authoritarian badass who seems to be very nomadic. He wasn't constantly around, which add to his complex moral code and lore. His design and subtle demeanor was welcomed with smiles from the community as a collective, and was a major determinant in us accepting Katakuri as the badass outside of his high bounty. With or without the introduction of his insane arsenal of combatic abilities later on in the story, just Katakuri's first impression encapsulated the fans' attention, and he was dubbed as the most interesting character within the arc. When blame and guilt comes up, many of us recognize that there are ways of evading the difficulties involving tackling an issue. If you find yourself looking to blame yourself, consider thinking in terms of acceptance as opposed to judgment. Katakuri did just that, and he took a hold of his perceived flaws and accept the reality that as a result of his flaws and actions, his siblings might be hurt as a direct result. He adjusted the way he looked and also the way he looked at things, and began to understand that the choices he made have consequences that profoundly affected his relationships and his perspective on life. The foundation of his motto of perfection was born in his backstory, as well as his genuine love for Brule, who served as a catalyst for Katakuri to understand the lonely philosophy that he must undergo. That love and affection for Brule created his need to always protect her. Katakuri's need to protect Brule seems at first to be because she's always the one to get kidnapped or bullied due to her being weak and vulnerable, hence why Katakuri always have to keep a close eye on her. But that was shown to be because of his guilt of having her getting hurt on his behalf. Katakuri is essentially a product of guilt and self-accountability. He rather his family sees him as an authoritarian, fearless big brother who is a nomad and a separatist, instead of them seeing him as an ugly, troublesome monster who brings nothing but problems. What's remarkable about Katakuri's character is how indigenous his portrayal is in advancing the narrative compared to the characters who are usually the second strongest to the arc's main antagonists. Characters or subordinates who are typically your second fiddle to the overlords are usually used as a hype machine for their antagonistic superior. Mangatas regularly use them as a metric for how strong the leader of the group will be the further we advance in the arc, And that's also always their sole purpose within the story or the arc. Katakuri was different. His combatic abilities didn't serve as a warm-up or introduction to what to expect from Big Mom. His power didn't even mimic hers at all. He is a confirmed Devil Fruit Awakened user, which Big Mom probably is, but hasn't been confirmed. Also, from our knowledge, Big Mom hasn't reached Katakuri's level of observation Haki, and amidst discussion regarding the flame-like pattern and Big Mom's armament Haki, it isn't confirmed that her armament is next level compared to Katakuri's. However, this doesn't mean that her armament Haki isn't by no means stronger than Katakuri. I expect it to be, just that it hasn't been confirmed to be at the tier level 2 like Katakuri 1 has been. Katakuri's accolades and martial prowess wasn't even fruited as a result of protecting his mom from rivals or challengers like the cliche second in command would do. Instead, Katakuri took on a bigger role of mimicking perfection, not just in his mental fortitude but also on the battlefield, as a desire to never let anyone hurt his siblings because of his perceived flaws and weaknesses. He welcomes responsibility even at the expense of his livelihood. A little side note here guys, but I also appreciate how Oda used Katakuri as a character to introduce the advanced Haki archetype. Katakuri's observation Haki evolved beyond the regular level, and that's something that us fans have speculated on for a while back on how guys at the top of the power food chain has awakened different Haki manifestations. The fact that Oda emphasized through Capone's internal monologue upon Katakuri's official introduction that Katakuri unlocked this future side power as a result of hard work. The fact that he achieved that through hard work and training gave most of us a closer sense of relatability and respect for that road of success, as we ourselves has improved our life due to hard work and not handouts. That minor detail sets up the platform of how responsible and self-accountable Katakuri is. I hold a very unpopular opinion that Katakuri actually saved Haki from dimming down to a low tier power system. Now I'll be using Katakuri's then unbeaten streak as an apparatus in this case study to examine its choice of responsibility and priorities. Katakuri's unbeaten streak was as a result of his subconscious need for perfection, because only through perfection could he pay the ultimate price for his appearance, and thus his perceived weakness of morality must be tossed away to make way for the acceptance of responsibility he must take on. I don't believe that Katakuri's unbeaten streak was ongoing due to him racking up victories against pirates who would come to Totland seeking to challenge Big Mom's position. Katakuri seems the type to be selective in his choice of opponents. An opponent who take abuse of his siblings like Luffy did, or have the potential to, seems to be his call of duty. It's not just his siblings' safety that Katakuri prioritized or care about. He also told the father soldiers to get back into the mirror world while they were aboard the Sunny, as Luffy would have knocked them out with his king's Haki. Class, social status, race, gender, or any self-identifier doesn't seem to play a role in who Katakuri decide to protect or prioritize. You just have to be family. Katakuri wear the words of the famous American philosopher Dr. Wayne W. Dyer on his sleeve. Those words were, "Your purpose in life is service to others." Security and protection was going to be his everlasting service to his family. There are also psychological benefits of accepting responsibility and embracing that choice. One such benefit is you freeing yourself from forced ideology by external forces, which helps you to grow. Conversely, if you truly believe your locus of control is external, that belief associates you with a higher level of psychological distress. You see, growth is a process, not an event. Being patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate towards accepting responsibility is the best way to go in life. It makes you a responsible person, which makes you a good person, and it also makes you a great leader and a great conqueror. In my eyes, Katakuri is just that. In that situation, it takes way more to stay than to leave. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a nice day or a night wherever you are. Lando checking out. Exodus.